What's up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to another video. Welcome to another walk and talk. This time a bit different. I have a guest on, Shug Nasty, awesome dude who also lives in Japan. The audio you're hearing is us talking online, having a conversation, so it's pre-recorded. The footage you're watching is me going card shopping in Akihabara and Ikebukuro over the last couple of days. It's just, so you have something to look at while you listen to us ramble about the Japanese market, PSA Japan changes, what we're buying, what we're collecting, all sorts of topics. Yeah, some interesting talking points we picked for the video. I hope you enjoy it. The footage, again, I think it's going to be interesting for some people maybe to look at some of the prices right now in Japan. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and let's get right into it. Josh, thanks for coming on the channel. I really appreciate you taking the time. For everyone who is not familiar with you yet, maybe you can introduce yourself to the viewers, the listeners.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, everybody? My name's Shug Nasty. Some people call me Shug. I've been on YouTube for a couple years now, but I've been in Pokemon for since like 2019, 2020 when a lot of people rejoined. Mostly collecting and then a little bit of hoarding and flipping graded cards as well. So yeah, it's mostly what I do.
Cool, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
And obviously, all the links down below. Make sure to check him out. But yeah, we got a list of a few topics today that we want to talk about. And I guess the first topic would be the most recent release, Battle Partners. Kind of to hear from you how you experienced that. I was actually in Switzerland when it came out. It just came back a few days after that. But how was it for you? Did you get it? Did you get some boxes or? Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. Because it's been pretty easy recently with sets that we've had, and we can pre-order, get on there and pre-order for, a couple weeks or month at a time before the set comes out. But with Battle Partners, it was I think the first day, immediately as soon as I got onto the website, I got in the Pokemon Center like lobby where you have to wait, and it has like that little guy walking by and it says you have this much time until you get in, and it took I think. I got lucky actually. It took me three and a half hours, which is like wasn't bad. Some people were waiting like 7.5 hours or something. But
Yep.
yeah, I ended up getting in, and then my wife also got in around the same time, and so we were able to get like two boxes of the Battle Partners.
Was that for the pre-order or the like
That was for the first, yeah, the first pre-order.
the first one?
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, I think it was the first one at least. And then that one sold out in for like I think less than 24 hours.
pretty
That
much.
first one, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was another one a couple weeks later, I think. And
There's a
then
second one. Yeah.
that one sold out within a quicker amount of time. It probably wasn't the same, I'm guessing, like
I think it
stock
was like
available, but
3 to 4 hours.
yeah. And I didn't get
Yeah.
anything. I think my wait, I gave up because it was like if I waited like 3 hours and the bar moved like a third of the way. So I was like, oh, this is like 9 hours away. I'm not gonna get
Same.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get any
Yeah.
or
I got my one box and the promo in the first pre-order wave. So same as
okay.
you.
Yeah.
But I waited 7 hours. So due to also time difference as well, like I found
Mhm.
out about that. I found out about it like too late. So I got in the queue a bit late, I think. And yeah, I
Yeah.
was in there for 7 hours. I mean, I was
It's
doing something on my
crazy.
computer at the same time anyway, so it wasn't too big of a deal. But it was
Yeah.
kind of crazy. Yeah, 7 hours. And then by the time I got in, all the other products, so like the deck box and those like
Mm.
the promo boxes,
Yeah,
they
those
had
were
sold
gone,
out.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I still got the booster box at the promo, but then like an hour later, they sold out after I got in, I
Oh,
think.
damn.
Yeah, but that must have been like 10 or 12 hours after it started. So yeah. And then the second wave, I got in right when it started. And then after 3 hours, the little message popped up that everything sold out. And there's just like, okay,
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
3 or 4 hours, I forget. But yeah, kind of crazy. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's been wild. And even before that, like the pre-orders for Terrestrial Festival, like you could it seemed like weird because it was like you could pre-order up to 5 boxes. I even did it like a couple days before release.
Yeah.
And then like the day of release, like there was nothing in the Pokemon Center online, I don't think. Like they weren't selling anything. I don't know if they have since. Um, and then Pokemon Centers too, they weren't even selling boxes or anything. They were selling like 2 to 5 packs per person. I still don't think they've sold boxes yet.
No, I don't think so either. I think online they had like a couple packs that sold out immediately, like 2 packs per person for a bit
Oh,
after
really?
the
Okay.
release. But yeah, that was insane because my last like walk and talk, I talked about it was like maybe a week before the release or something.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, I don't think this will be too hard to get after it comes out because, I had the kind of experience of like having like a month and a half of being able to order 5 boxes
Yeah.
per account per week, technically, right? So like
Yeah.
if you do you with your one account, you could have pre-ordered like 30 boxes, like seemingly like no limit.
Yeah, that's the thing. I
And
didn't know
then
the week
yeah,
time frame. I didn't even know that was a thing. I just because I thought it was just until you said it. I was like on my one account, my wife just ordered the 5 boxes one day, and then
yeah,
I thought that was like a thing because she had told me she had thought she had read something where like that's all you could do, and if you did order another 5 boxes, they would like cancel the order. But I was like, I'm gonna
mm,
test it out, and I did it a couple weeks later, and it worked out. I didn't get any message saying I canceled, so I didn't even know that was like a thing. I thought I just
yeah.
got lucky, but that's interesting
No,
to know.
the first time I found about that was when they had the 151 10 packs per person
Oh, okay.
up like last year during the summer. They
Yeah.
had those up for a while, and you could just order 10 packs every week. And if
Okay.
you tried before the 7 days was up, you couldn't order. So I think that's like the first time people were like
Okay.
speculating, oh, you could like order every week or something. But yeah, then like you said, like the day before, it's just like they took it down, the pre-order. I think it was the day before release. And then that Chinese live streamer was like ripping like a
Oh,
thousand
yeah,
boxes
yeah.
or something. And then that's when like the market went crazy with it. It's like,
Yeah, that was
that's
wild.
insane.
Yeah, that live stream, I didn't even know that was like, yeah, that was wild. It was like unexpected. I think what is Collect Pokemon or somebody had
Yeah,
he was the one like live streaming the live stream. Um,
it was
but yeah,
wild.
that was like totally unexpected and like yeah, then that like yeah, from there it just got crazier and crazier it seems like with the battle partners and then yeah, who knows what
Yeah.
these next sets will look like.
Yeah, so we got upcoming, I think Heatwave Arena is next
Yeah, they
in
just like
about a
released the pack
month.
art, right, for that?
Yeah, looks nice, looks nice.
Yeah, I've got the Ho-Oh on the front and then there's like a Typhlosion in the set.
Yep. And I
Yeah.
think yeah, the whole is probably gonna get an SAR, I would think, because it has an EX, I think, if
Yeah, that would be
I'm not
cool.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be nice.
If we can
And
get
that's in a
any.
month. Like it feels like Battle Partners just came out, and then it's like, oh, it's
Yeah,
too
that's
much,
true.
too much.
Yeah,
And then
everything moves
after
so
that,
fast.
yeah, in April will be Glory of Team Rocket, and then in June, so nothing in May probably. Then June, Black Bolt, White Flare, and
Yeah.
then sometime later the mega sets. I don't know. Good stuff coming up. I'm hoping that because there's no set coming out in May, that they have like a lot of time to reprint a lot of these sets.
Yeah. I'm interested to know how the reprints are gonna go. I know like obviously they print a lot of the premium sets, so like Terrassel Festival they'll print a lot of it. And everybody says this though, they're like, oh, they're gonna print it to oblivion. It's like I used to even say that myself, and it's like it's almost like a trigger for me now when people say it. Because they did it with 151, and there was boxes everywhere, but those that's like what that's not even 2 years old yet. It's almost 2 years old, right?
Yeah,
And those
almost.
boxes are over $100 already. Like I feel like that they shouldn't be that expensive.
It blows my mind. I cannot believe the endless demand for 151. Like I
Yeah.
love the set. It's so good, but like the cards are everywhere. Like if you want the cards,
Yeah.
there's so many of them already graded or like just raw. Even like when I went to Akihabara a couple days ago, the footage that's in the background right now, um, it's just like 151 is still like SARs. You can still find them, like they're plentiful.
Hmm.
And so it really surprised me how quickly the boxes bounced back from like the low during the reprint last summer. I did not expect
Yeah.
that. I think though it's a lot of it is what's happening with Japanese right now. I think a lot of it is fueled by the English market, obviously, I would think.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure. Definitely. Yeah, that's a factor.
I think that's yeah. Did you see the Pokeka-chart.com? Do you know about the website Pokeka-chart.com?
I know oh, there's a chart.
Yeah, yeah, they do like they track like
Uh,
a bunch of like really popular cards. They do it manually, so everything, on there you should take it with a grain of salt. But they do like they track a bunch of popular like PSA 10s and like near mint raw cards, and you can see like a bit of a chart on Polkadot-chart.com. So this is the raw near mint, and then we have the PSA 10 chart down here. You see there's like huge increase in like January, and it's
oh,
coming down again
yeah,
a bit.
that's wild.
And it felt like crazy. Like it was like, oh, crap, Japanese is booming again, and like a lot of these PSA 10s and sealed boxes have gone up a lot. But then what I wanted to show you, what I think is crazy, like just perspective, like you zoom out and you look at 2023,
Oh, whoa.
it's like
That's that's crazy. Yeah, it
it's
is
just
wild.
insane. It puts
Yeah,
things in perspective, right?
definitely. Is this just like PSA 10s on average, or is this a specific set of card
Uh,
or
think of it like an index of like popular cards.
okay, so just
Uh,
like popular PSA 10 cards.
yeah. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you that because I feel like to me, it feels like with the availability of like these recent sets right now, it feels a lot like early 2023 when like Clayburst and
Yeah.
Violet and all those sets came out. But like obviously overall, it's like not even close to as crazy as it was back then, I feel like.
Yeah, that's
So
what people have been saying, I feel like too. Maybe it's more so the people I'm listening to are talking about the English market specifically, but I
hmm,
feel like a lot of people are like, "Oh, this is like bigger than, what happened." Well, they were referring more so towards like the 2021, I guess, um
yeah.
but yeah, it is comparable. I feel like or it seems like it is happening again,
Mm.
where the prices of boxes or the boxes are becoming unavailable. And it was actually making me wonder too, like, are we going to go back to like the lottery system, do you think? Where
I hope
you
so. I'd rather
Yeah.
have a lottery than a 7 hour queue.
Yeah, I'd rather wait. I didn't have any like too much luck. I think I got like one or two boxes during that whole like it's 9 months where you had to do the lottery or a year, whatever it was.
Oh,
I didn't have
really?
great luck, but I think I'd rather yeah not wait the
Yeah.
hours for to maybe get a box.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not sure. I mean, I guess maybe you got really unlucky. I don't know because there was a change at some point. There was a change in the lottery where I think I don't have this confirmed, obviously, but I think they blocked reshipper addresses. So if I remember correctly, like the Pokenomics discords and like Professor Oak's discords, like people just stopped winning lotteries suddenly, like
Mhm.
after a certain set. I forgot when it was. And when that happened, so this is completely anecdotal, right? But like that's when I started winning way more lotteries. So
Huh.
I feel like at some point, they stopped these like buy ye accounts or whatever they're called, the other
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
companies
think I do remember hearing that, but I
from
don't think it
winning
changed my
lotteries.
luck. Yeah.
I guess not.
I remember seeing a poll on Twitter by like a big Japanese account. I think it had like 200,000 subscribers or something. And then he did a poll like asking people each set like what did you get your box? Like if you applied for the lottery, did you get your
Mm,
box or did you
mm,
not? And I think
mm.
like 30% of people got one and 70% of people didn't, which I
That's
thought was
wild.
kind of yeah, wild. And I think I don't know how many people actually did the poll, but it was in like the tens of thousands, maybe like 30,000 people answered the poll, but it's like a decent, I guess,
Yeah, that's a
number of people.
pretty good sample size. Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually that has me thinking. Like, I feel like if we go back to lotteries now, it could be a lot worse because I think there are a lot more people with like multiple accounts now. I don't know if you saw that Twitter post. I don't have the source, the original source, so I feel really bad about that. But in another Discord I'm in, someone uploaded a screenshot.
What is it though? Are those Pokemon boxes? Oh, those are the Pokemon
Yeah,
boxes.
so this is a screenshot that someone shared in a Discord I'm in. Again, I don't have the original source. I can't confirm if this is actually real or not, so take it with a grain of salt. But this is
Yeah.
apparently someone who bought 2,532 boxes from the Pokemon Center, Battle Partners.
But
So even if they split it like perfectly 50-50 across the two pre-order waves, that's over, 1,200 accounts.
that's that's
How is it
wild.
possible? Like, how is this even possible, right? I mean, the boxes in the picture are Pokemon Center boxes, right? So, but like,
Yeah.
I
They
mean, if I don't know.
that like don't they have to have like is there not a limit on like how many accounts can have a certain mailing address or no? Or how
Yeah,
does that
technically,
work?
I mean, technically, you're only supposed to have one per person, right? I have my one account. I order what I'm allowed to order. I
Yeah.
play by the rules, right? But there are workarounds. So like people have like different email addresses. They'll have like there's like websites you can have like temporary like credit card numbers and stuff like that. And I
But the
don't know how it
mailing
works.
address is all the same, right?
The shipping address. That's the one thing I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. So I don't think this is probably not one person. It's probably a group of people. But even then, that's so many
Mm.
boxes. Again,
Yeah, it's a lot. You said 12,000 accounts? It would have to be?
no, 12, a minimum 1250. if they did it
Oh,
perfectly
okay.
50-50 across the two pre-order waves, roughly. But like
Yeah.
again, if this is even true, right? So like,
Yeah.
let's not just believe everything we see, but there are people with multiple accounts. And so like, it's to me, it's clear, like if everyone had their one account, the queue would not have been, I would not have been in that queue for 7 hours, probably, right?
Yeah.
So queue, lottery, whatever it is, I think if they can't up the print numbers for these next few sets, I think it's going to be pretty hard to get boxes, probably.
Yeah, I think, yeah, definitely with everything, the popularity and the hype around all these sets too, like people talking, even myself, talking about them 6 months ahead of time. Like we were talking about Rocket way back when, like last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
And it's like, I mean, it's exciting, but yeah, like there's so much hype around it now, the feeding into it and just making it where yeah, it's gonna
It's
be interesting times coming up, I feel like.
it's pretty crazy. And actually, that kind of leads into the next question I have for you, because like, um, how do you navigate this market, or what are you buying, or what have you been buying? Um, I'm curious to find out.
Uh, I've been buying, so I obviously with like doing grading plays and like trying to flip stuff, trying to do a little bit more first to market stuff. That's a little difficult with like PSA turnaround times, even if you're paying like the $60, $10, or what is it, 10-day turnaround time thing. But so like the big hits from like Terrassel Festival, I bought a few of the Umbreon SARs when they first came out, and then things like promos. I got a few of the Iono promos that came with the Battle Partner boxes or the Wattrel, Iono's Wattrel. You know what I'm talking about, right? This thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then just looking random, I don't know, searching on Mercari for just like any kind of deals, really. Mercari, just seeing, yeah, like bulk lots, what I can find, which is a bit dangerous because you never know the condition of the card.
Yeah.
Um, that, and then I've been going back to vintage too, like doing more PC purchases, like collection stuff, because I kind of put that off for a little while. My Top Sun binder is not completely filled out, so I was going back to the Top Sun cards and seeing which ones I don't have, buying some of those. So yeah, just I'm not there's certain things I'm not touching at all just because the price is way too high. Like the Umbreon SARs, I'm done buying those because they're too expensive now. Unless somebody's like selling them locally. I've had some luck on like local Facebook pages where people
Okay.
are just wanting money like really quickly. They're like, "Oh, you'll give me cash today? Okay, yeah, I'll take that price." Um, but yeah, most of like the hit cards after a few weeks and stuff, if they go up enough, I'm like, okay, it's too much for me now.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, what about you? Are you buying stuff or?
I haven't touched any of the modern stuff at all, past
Oh,
I mean, the last thing, well, I got my Battle Partners box and the promo, and then Terrestrial Festival, I had 5 boxes pre-ordered. Should have done 5 per week, obviously, hindsight 2020.
yeah,
But I opened a few of those. I sold a couple in Switzerland, and I kept one sealed for now. And then, yeah, I haven't touched Modern since then. I feel like last time Modern was going crazy, so late 2022 or first half 2023. It's kind of
mhm.
like it was sort of like, I wouldn't call it like stressful, but it was like you felt
Yeah,
like you always had to keep up with the market, what's happening, and this and that. Like, what do I want to buy? And so for now, I'm just not touching it. This stuff will be
yeah,
reprinted. It will be available in the future. And
yeah. That's
so,
like I'm
yeah.
sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, like similar to you, I've been looking at some personal collection stuff, things that are a bit older. Been buying some Sword and Shield, Sun and Moon boxes, and then for my pack collection, dipping a bit into X and Y and Black and White. So that's nice. Just picked up a couple unlimited packs from those days, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Unfortunately, that's kind of unlucky. While I was so my plan was to, well, I whenever I go to Switzerland, I bring stuff to sell. Right? I don't
Hmm.
sell much in Japan, hardly ever. Um, and I brought a bunch of stuff this time for the holidays. It's like, okay, I'm going to sell a bunch of stuff, so I have a lot of money available to buy stuff for my personal collection. Kind of these buys I've been making since summer, fall last year. And then while I was there is when kind of the Japanese market started going crazy. So a lot of the stuff I had on my buy list went up 20, 30, 40%. It was like, damn,
Oh,
feels bad. But I just figured,
yeah,
screw it. I just, I worked hard to be able to afford those things. I just bought them anyways. So it's nice to have them now. But it's a bit unlucky timing. But I just feel like if you buy stuff for the personal collection, it's not that important. Like, I don't know. I'm not too
What do you
concerned
mean?
about it.
Oh,
Well,
the
if you pay,
price?
yeah, if you pay like a little bit
Oh,
more,
okay.
like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I totally agree. I
yeah.
thought you meant the card's not that important, but yeah,
No, no,
no,
no.
that, no, yeah, I totally agree. Like the price, like if I really like something like where are they? The Topsun Charizard, like
Yeah,
I wanted one of those forever. And it's a CGC 9, so it's not like the most like that's like as close as I can get, to a PSA 10.
yeah,
Just because they're so expensive and yeah, I was like, the price the guy wanted, I was like, yeah, I don't care really. Like that, I want that card.
yeah,
So yeah, I agree with you there. It's like if you really enjoy it, go ahead and pay, what the price
yeah.
is.
And I mean, obviously, this depends. It's different for everyone. And I try to like everything that's like a little bit older and has gone up in price that I want to buy for my PC. I kind of get, made a rule for myself a couple of years ago. It's like, okay, I'm only allowed to buy this, or I'm only allowing myself to buy it if I can buy it with like profits from selling cards. So
Mm,
it's like it's not coming out of my real life money fund, so to say. So that's why I'm like not too stressed out over it. But yeah,
that's a good. How do you how I guess do you have to sell a lot to buy certain items or because like I feel like you also want to put that money back into like buying stuff to flip, right? Or to sell later. So do you
yeah.
find like you have to where like how do you balance that? Are you selling a lot or like to where it's not to where you're able to buy PC items often, or are you buying PC items like on occasion once a year or a couple times a year?
It's just like it's automatically a couple times a year because I'm
Hmm.
only ever in Switzerland like during the summer every year, and then every now and then you're like during the winter holidays. So that's when I get my money for my to spend on my
Oh, okay.
collection basically. Like
Okay.
modern stuff, like modern booster boxes, that's whatever, right? Like, but the older expensive stuff. And for that, like I used to like not keep track because I just had so many cards from way back in the day, from like 2016. I bought so many Mandarake mystery cubes back then, which is
Oh,
you pay
nice.
400 yen, it's just full of like old back hollows, all like
Yeah.
played condition, obviously, but like so for the longest time I was just selling primarily like this old stuff that I had just sitting around, and so I wasn't too concerned. But now since I don't know, a year and a half, I've been keeping track of like what I buy to sell. Still, some stuff is still coming from like my old collection, but and so I'm able to sort of go 50-50 with it. Where like with the revenue from selling, 50% I put back into buying more cards, and then 50% I use to buy personal collection stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And then I just try growing that bucket, if you want to call it that, by just increasing sales overall, I guess, or like the
Okay.
sale numbers
Yeah.
and
Just
average
over
sale
time.
price per. Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I always like, and I don't know. I kind of just dip into my own income to buy PC items, but then
Okay.
it's kind of a backwards way of thinking, I guess, because I'm always like I feel like if I want to take the profits from like what I sell and the revenue and like put that back into like the business side of it, um,
Hmm.
I feel like I'm moving backwards on the business side in my mind. I know it doesn't make any sense because I'm taking the money from from other ways,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but yeah, I was curious how you do that and what's your
No, I get
process
it.
for
Yeah.
that, but
And it depends really how you approach it, right? If you want to do this as a business or as like a serious side hustle, then you couldn't just buy
yeah,
like PC stuff all the time with that money, obviously,
yeah,
right? But for me,
yeah,
it's just like, if I sell half as much next time around, that's fine, just it's okay too. Like I'm not too stressed out over it. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Oh, I said business, but yeah, I'm more,
Yeah.
more of a side hustle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what I do. Like whenever I go, card shopping in the stores around here, try to find deals here and there. But most of the stuff I find is online, anyways. Like Medicuddy, uh,
Yeah.
like maybe 10% of what I buy to resell is from the card stores. They're
Mhm.
just so expensive
Yeah,
these
right.
days. Yeah,
Yeah. Especially with like how popular they've become with like social media and people have them on
dude.
YouTube and people just going making trips to Japan now to go to card
Yeah,
shops. Like,
it's pretty wild. When I
yeah.
was in Akiba 2 days ago, so again, the footage is playing in the background right now. That it was like electric. There was so many people, and like the amount of it's crazy. The amount of people walking in and out of these stores and just like, spending money, the amount of money that's being spent at that
Yeah,
place every single day it's mind-blowing. And you see
it is.
people with
Yeah.
stacks of cash just buying this and buying that and like 600,000 PSA 10, no problem. And like stuff, I'm just like, what's happening? It's crazy.
That yeah, that's wild. Wild
Yeah, and
times.
it's Japanese people, it's tourists. I mean, right now it's also Chinese New Year holidays. There's a lot of Chinese tourists there as well.
Mm.
But it's just, it's just busy and yeah, it's crazy. It just, we all know that English is going crazy right now, but if you go to these stores in Akihabara, it's like feels like Japanese market is absolutely booming with the amount of people that are in card shopping. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything I feel like is right now is just going up. Yeah,
that's
it's
wild.
it's the sign of the times, I guess.
But you can still find some deals. That's the thing. That's kind of also what I wanted to address as well a little bit is that like as difficult as it has gotten to find good deals in places like Akiba, you can still find good deals here and there. So every time I go, I find a couple things to buy. Usually it's not stuff too great, although that stuff is out there. But like a lot of stuff I sell is like lightly played stuff, lightly played older stuff. You can still find that, and like that's never been like impossible. What is it like in
Yeah.
in uh, in Okinawa? When I went there a year ago, I tried to go to as many different card store type of places as possible, but there aren't that many, right?
No, it's way different here. Everybody that knows like I'm in Japan, I just say Japan because some people don't know what Okinawa is, depending on where they're from in the world. But everybody's like, "Oh, you're in Japan. The card shops must be great." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm not in like the Japan you're thinking." Um, but yeah, the card shops here, there's been more popping up. They're they're not like anything like crazy like you see in mainland and Tokyo and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't do too much buying. I've been to a couple here and there and just to see what they have every so often, but I usually if I'm going there like I've bought cards to play because I played it like played the game for a little while and so I was buying
Mm,
cards for like a deck, but never see anything there like that's anything crazy. Like you said, I usually do most of my buying on Mercari
yeah,
or like locally like on Facebooks and stuff or other like social media stuff for like local buys, but yeah, I think like you said, there's still ways to collect and have fun. It's like you were saying this earlier, it's easy to get wrapped up into like the hype and the sets and what's new and wanting to be a part of all of that excitement, but it's stressful to like have to like make sure you're going online to the Pokemon Center the right time to get in line to maybe get a box or to like run to around to different like convenience stores to see if they have the packs.
yeah,
So for me, what I do, kind of like you were saying, is like if you can't find the things, I don't like stress too much over not being able to get the stuff because it'll be there later. Um,
totally.
but
Yeah,
like you said, there's a lot of like what you're saying back with 151, there's so many 151 singles out there. If you want like that, if you just pick up singles and you enjoy that, that's something you can easily, do and it's
totally.
it's just it's less stress free. Like there's cards obviously that are worth um still high in value, but it's less stress involved, I feel, with collecting that way. And
Yeah,
then the vintage stuff, there's if for the newer collectors there that maybe are like wondering what they could collect is go and like look. I would, recommend going and looking at like some of the niche stuff or some of the other stuff that's like less popular because there's so much out there like that I'm still learning about things that like somebody will show me something or see a picture of something online. I'm like, I didn't know that existed at all. Like, it's crazy how much is actually out there. So finding those cool like unique items, that's like another way to collect in these times when you can't get product, I think.
absolutely. That's one of my favorite things to do. I got a little binder, like a little promo binder. It's not all promos, but it's a lot of like these niche kind of cards. This is actually, I can throw up a picture in the video,
Oh
but
yeah.
that's one of the things I picked up 2 days ago. Was this little thing? Do you know this?
No, is that like a movie promo or something?
Yeah, so
What is that?
2,500 yen, which I thought was a really good deal.
That's
It's
a
a
card?
three,
Oh, it's a
it's
Japanese back?
it's three cards. It's
Uh,
I think it's 11th World Hobby Fair promos. It's just the Neo Genesis. I got them some spare ones here that I might trade. They're a little OC, but I'll throw up some pictures. But they're just the Neo Genesis starters with a little like
oh,
a
okay.
little like
World Hobby Fair text down here.
Okay.
So like
Yeah, I think I've seen those arts, but yeah, I
super
don't think
niche, right?
I didn't know what
But
they were from.
yeah, super niche. But like to me, that's kind of cool. It's a little piece of history, and you can get it sealed for 2,500 yen from one of the most popular card stores in Akihabara. But
Oh yeah.
people aren't looking at this stuff. That's why it's like, oh, that's kind of cool.
No, yeah,
Um,
that's cheap. What's that front part? The is that like another card or is it just an insert or
it's just an insert. It says Pikachu the movie 2000, Pikachu. I guess
uh,
it had. I don't know which movie it is. Lord of the Unknown Tower. It says in English.
I wonder if you
Yeah,
can grade that.
maybe. Probably. I mean, these days you
Yeah,
can
great.
grade just
Grade
about
anything.
anything, right? But yeah,
That's cool though. Little things like that. And like you said, it's sealed and it's 2,500 yen for something that's like old, like
yeah,
and like
uh,
has history to it. That's cool.
yeah. And it's like the three Neo Genesis starters in like mint condition, from like a unique release. It's just kind of cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then actually, this is another really good segue into like, what do we collect or what do we do when the market is going crazy, sort of like steering away from modern. So I asked you the question to like before we started this, sort of like, what would you recommend someone to open Japanese, like booster box wise, if they are on a budget? So looking at both Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet, like what are your two picks, one each?
Oh man.
Like something that
That's
you can get on a budget right now that doesn't feel bad if you spend the money and like you can get some cool cards. What would you recommend?
I'm not sure by budget. What are we looking at? Like close to retail, I guess, or like you're
It's
talking
up to
about
you. It's up to you.
um
Obviously, like battle
for
partners, I would say that's
Scarlet.
that's not on a budget, right? So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
yeah,
unless you're getting lucky and finding it like somewhere in the shops or something. But
yeah. Good luck.
for Scarlet Violet, I've been picking up still picking up boxes of the Crimson Haze.
Okay.
That's the one
Yep.
with the Greninja, right? And then I think
Yep.
it has the EVAR with all the different EVs like laying around. I think it's got like nine of them or something. I think
I
that
think
card's in
so.
there.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
it's in there because I've been buying the box. But
No,
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
I think that's like it's still a popular set, but
Yeah.
it's still like it's still out there and stuff, and I've been picking it from the store at
Yeah.
retail. So
And
probably
it's
that
got
for Scarlet
the
and Violet.
yeah, it's
It's
got
got
the
what?
Infernape as well and the
Oh yeah,
Growlithe
yeah,
AR, so those are pretty cool.
yeah. Those are
Um,
yeah. It's got some good cards, I think, in it.
yeah, it's a pretty good
And
set.
yeah, that
Uh,
Infernape's pretty cool.
People were kind of going crazy when it sold out on the Pokemon Center website. It's, oh, Crimson Haze is sold out, but you can
Yeah, I
still get
think
it in the stores here. Like even in Akihabara, I saw a
yeah.
few stores that had it below retail. So
Oh really?
yeah,
So that's something I
slightly,
think too in
slightly.
mainland you could find like boxes below retail. I don't think I ever seen boxes here below retail. There
Oh,
probably
really?
was, but like even maybe Shiny Treasure EX was the only one I've ever seen here that was below retail because that one went down pretty far.
Oh no.
They were giving it away.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then for what is it? Sword and
Sword and
Shield.
Shield. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't honestly don't remember
It's a
too
little more
many
difficult.
of the
Yeah.
sets. And I'm trying to think of what's still cheap. I don't know. Because I don't look at box prices for the Sword and Shield too much anymore. What's the Urshifu set? I forget what it's called.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
What is it called?
Well, it's the single strike and the rapid strike, right?
Yeah, maybe that.
Masters, yeah.
Because I think Urshifu, am I saying his name right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Urshifu? Yeah, I think he's a cool Pokemon. That's like his only like the only sets he was in, right? And like as a main
I
like
think
card art. I
so.
don't think he has too many card arts.
I don't know how expensive or cheap those boxes are, though. I'm not sure.
Are they okay? Yeah, I'm
And they're
not
just kind
sure
of
either
hard
on
to find.
prices.
Like you never see them in the stores really these days.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think they printed it too much, but
No,
yeah, I'm not
that's
sure. What about you for
I
Sword and
like
Shield?
well, Scarlet Violet, I like your Crimson Haze pick,
Yeah.
but I picked Wild Force
Okay, I've been picking up those
because
too.
yeah, I'm saying Wild Force because it's still on the Pokemon Center website at retail.
Okay.
And so it might be
Yeah.
below retail in other places still. And I just like the set. It's one of the most fun opening experiences I had in Scarlet and Violet.
Hmm.
And I know people are hating a bit on the dinosaur legendary dogs a bit. I think they're kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like them.
Yeah, I still don't like the Suicune. I think that's like the worst one. And then the
Yeah.
Raikou, that one that one at first it was a shock because I was like, what did they do? The long neck, the
It's
giraffe
weird.
neck.
Yeah, I get it. Like to me, it's
They've
like
saved it. Go
I
ahead.
don't know. I love dinosaurs as a kid. So I just look at them and like, oh, they're
Yeah.
freaking dinosaur versions of those Pokemon. I think that's kind of cool. It's kind of dope.
That
I don't know. But
okay.
they
That's
do look a
true.
bit weird. I get it. But like Suicune is like a raptor, right? And then Entei is like a
Yeah.
Triceratops, and then Raikou is whatever the long neck dinosaur's name is, I forget.
Yeah.
But
You know,
also you get the Mortis, I think Conviction, is it? Or Mortis Confidence Conviction? I forget the name.
I'm
But it's
blanking
the
on what it
one, it's
looks
the
like.
SAR with the big Gengar in the front. So like it's a trainer alt art, but
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
the
I know what you're
Gengar takes
talking.
up most of the space on the card anyway. So like that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
a
I
good one.
really like, and you get the Ghastly art rare. Like I like Wild Force a lot. That was a lot of fun to open that set. And like if you don't want to participate in like the ultra modern craziness, like the recent sets, I think Wild Force is a fun one to open, and you can get it for
Yeah,
a really good
that's
price.
I agree. That's a good point too. It's still in the Pokemon Center. And yeah, I
Yeah.
have been picking those boxes up with like if they have them with the Crimson Haze boxes or I
Right.
think
Yeah.
do you guys have Geo out there, the video rental place?
I'm not familiar with that one, no.
It's called GEO Geo. But yeah,
EOGB. No.
so they have cards. That's usually where I stop by on the way home,
Okay.
and they got like you can get a box per set if they have them. But yeah, Wild Force is a good one.
Yeah.
Like you
And
said,
I
I think the versions of the legendary dogs are people are they're still having to grow on people a little bit.
yeah.
I think they kind of saved the Raikou for me with this Terrestrial Festival SAR artwork
Oh
though.
yeah. Yeah,
I think they
that's
did
that's
really good on that, and it's like
that's a
it's
nice one.
made me. I picked up a lot of those. I've actually sent them some for grading, but yeah,
That one's really nice. Yeah. And then it's got the Airy or Erie. Is it Erie? Erie? The trainer? I don't know how to pronounce her name in English.
I'm not sure.
Um, it's the one like I'm not a trainer collect. I don't collect for all trainers, but like I think it's one of the coolest looking SARs. Like it looks badass. So that's cool too. In my opinion, just a cool looking card. It's got Lucario in the background.
Yeah,
Biwa, Japanese Biwa. I don't know.
Biwa.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I don't really the trainers. I'm not too.
No. Although I did pick up one trainer card in Akiba. Uh, it's another just really good deal. Kind of circling back to like finding a good deal. Sometimes in Japan you can still find good deals on like already graded cards. So I picked up the Professor Elm's lecture from Super Burst Impact. This guy
Oh, nice.
in a
That's a good
10,
one.
and it was only like 10,800 yen.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's a pretty good deal. I checked eBay comps and it's like 30 to 100% below eBay comps, depending on which sale you look at, obviously. But like,
Yeah.
that's a pretty good pickup, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
nice when you look on eBay and you're like, oh, I could arbitrage this, or it's worth, picking up because of the
yeah.
price you're getting it for here. Yeah.
And I like it because it, again, has the starters on it. It's just, I think it's a cool one. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good one. That's cool. Yeah, I was doing that with
Alrighty.
in
Oh, sorry.
the
Yeah.
really quick just to touch on the PSA cards.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
when there was like a when we weren't in this like hype kind of period of the market, I was picking up PSA nines on Mercari of like vintage like base hollows. And they were like selling for like 2 to 3,000 yen. Like people just didn't want PSA nines of Japanese base hollows. And so I was picking those up and I was just like, I just wanted them. I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to resell them. I just like having the PSA nine. Like PSA nine gets kind of gets like shit on. Sorry, excuse my language, but it gets shit on a little bit. And I was like, I picked those up and I think I've sold them all off because they've like tripled or quadrupled in price now. People are
Yeah.
picking them up. Yeah.
There was like a year-long period after the market crashed where people just didn't want slabs. Yeah, even tens went really low, but like the nines especially.
Hmm.
Oh, I picked up a Koro Koro Shining Mew and an eight, PSA eight, but I
So
paid
good.
25,000 yen for it.
That's good.
And I think now it's like 40 in an eight.
Yeah.
But I was
That's
like,
a card people always want. Yeah.
yeah, it's so popular. Like I love it. For me, like it looks like it has like a little surface issue, but you can't even tell. Like it's great. And like
Yeah.
But like, yeah, people were just fire selling those kinds of cards. It's crazy. Not anymore, not as much. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, there
that's
was some.
actually another good segue. PSA Japan. So this was also on our list to
Yeah.
talk about.
Yeah.
Um, PSA Japan increased their grading fees. and up to turnaround times. So when I graded the last time, I don't grade often. The last time I graded, it's the PSA return is on my channel. That was the October bug special. October bug special. It was 1,980 per card, and now it's 2,980. So 1,000 yen more, which is I think about 20 US dollars, just under.
Yeah.
Um, it's quite a
I think it's
bit.
I think it's 22-ish, no? Or no, you're right.
Oh,
It's
oh,
actually, yeah,
really?
you're right. It's 19. I think it's like 1980 or something. I
Yeah,
was
but that's a lot. That's
thinking
a
so.
lot. And then turnaround time is 60 business days, so 3 months. Are you
60
still
business
grading? Like,
days? Oh yeah,
yeah,
because they don't count
yeah,
for the weekends, huh?
yeah. It's business days. So
Yeah.
you
I
said
sent
you did some grading plays, but you did the higher tier, I guess.
so I sent the Umbreons and the Shiny Treasure EX Charizards. I sent them off in the $60 tier.
Okay,
And then I sent some oh no, I sent them off in the $60 tier. Yeah, the 10-day turnaround tier. And then I did some bulk stuff before it got this delay, kind of the turnaround time delay happened.
okay,
And they were cranking out bulk, like it said 45-day estimated turnaround, and so which I think it's always defaults to that.
yeah.
But they were I got one sub back in like 2.5 weeks, and then I
Oh
got another
wow,
sub back in like 3.5. And I was like, oh,
damn.
this is great. I was like, first to market plays, I'm gonna kill it. I'll just send everything, like even like the lower end stuff in bulk, and I'll be on, first on eBay or something. But uh yeah, and then I was like kind of up my submissions, and before they had recognized the delay and turnaround times on the website, I think it was like bad timing. Um, I sent some off like the day or 2 days before, and so I've already noticed like I've had, yeah, a sub or two subs there for a month and a half, I think, already, and they're still in grading or like research. I
Okay,
don't know. So
yeah.
it's a little bit. I'm like, oh man, but yeah, it's definitely definitely backed up, it seems like.
Oh,
And
totally.
expensive now too. So I'm like, I have some stuff that I was gonna send, but then I looked at the price like you were talking about, like 1980 a card. I'm like, now do I send these, or like I'm not gonna have any like margin to
Right.
sell them, or um do I wait to see if the price goes down? I don't think that's probably gonna happen. Or do I send to CGC, and then CGC has this thing happen, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to send it to CGC now. But
It's
yeah.
tricky. It's tricky because like the other thing too is like if you wait, that's what I did with my one of my expensive PSA 10s I got back in my last submission. It was like, oh, I'll just wait for a better, the prices are coming down. They have these specials getting cheaper and cheaper to grade with PSA
Mhm.
Japan. I just wait, 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 wait. By the time I finally sent it, the cart was worth half as much. It's
Yeah.
like if you wait for it to get cheaper, then the PSA 10s are probably also going to be cheaper at that time, right? So that it's a bit of at least with the modern stuff, I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, yeah, when you have your cards out there for a couple months at a time or more, then you're like, you don't know what the market changes so fast in Pokemon, so you're like,
Yeah.
you don't know what the price of the card's gonna be, which is, yeah, difficult. So
But yeah,
it's like
20
a learning
bucks.
experience.
Yeah, 20
If you're
bucks a
gonna,
card is a lot.
yeah,
I just don't want to give PSA that much money. Like that's awesome.
yeah, part of it's that, and I feel like I don't think they're doing it to like get more money. I think it's because they have
Oh yeah. No, they
so
have
many people
to.
sending it, so it's like,
They have to.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
to.
And like if you do this as a business or like as like a serious or semi-serious side hustle, then you just go with it, right? But like for me, it's like I submit once or twice a year. Half of the stuff is like personal collection items usually anyways. So it's like, okay, I'll just wait. I'd rather give PSA 12 bucks than 20 bucks per card. It is like, I don't know.
Yeah. There's a lot
Depends.
of people I've noticed. Like I've learned a lot about um the hobby, and how many people are new to grading, or new to Pokemon, or new to like, they're not like, so many people aren't like in deep in like Pokemon, like a lot of us are here on YouTube. And I didn't realize it. I mean, I think if you asked me the question, I'd obviously say yeah, there is, but just understanding it, like I have a better understanding of it because of the interactions I have with people like on the local Facebook pages here. A lot of people asking about grading, like so many people, to where I was getting tired of seeing posts on the Facebook page, so I just made a video of how to do a PSA submission, and a lot of people started submitting to PSA, and now like People are like posting their cards for sale on this Facebook page and stuff like that. So a lot of people are getting into it, it seems like.
Hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. I don't know. How long do you think it will last? Like, when are we going back to the bulk specials?
Didn't this happen last time in like 2021, 2020, like
Well, yeah,
in
but that was like just, well, that PSA in the US was just completely backed up. Like they shut down, right? Basically.
yeah, they like shut down and then CGC came in and people were
Yeah,
sending to
yeah, yeah, yeah.
CGC. So I feel like
Yeah.
I don't know. That was like a different branch, obviously, but I'm wondering
Yeah.
if it'll be similar to I don't know how long did they shut down for in the US last time?
Always a long time. And then people waited like up to 2 years. Like some people, like it was
Yeah.
insane. I mean, obviously, I don't think that's going to happen again. PSA, I think, has learned a lot. It doesn't matter if it's PSA in the US or in
Yeah,
Japan.
that's
Like they're
true.
not going to
Yeah.
let that happen. They're just going to make it more expensive or they'll shut it down sooner. But like, um, I don't know. With the sets that are coming out, it might be another year before we get back to the bulk specials. At least until not until the market cools down. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see another year. I mean, that's probably, yeah, like you said, it's probably going to be all comparable to the market and how the market is overall.
Yeah, I would think
There's
so.
if there's money to be made, then people will be submitting a PSA.
And there's also a little thing like for collectors, like if you want to collect these new Japanese cards in PSA 10, if you want to grade them yourself, just wait until grading is cheaper again. But if you want to buy them, I'd wait because I think there's this big lag now where yes, there are people like you who did like some of the like first to market type of plays. But I think a lot of these Japanese chase cards, especially the ones sort of like the B tier, like the Salaman CX from Battle Partners, for example. Pretty cool card, but it's like 5,000 yen in Japan. 6,000 yen
Yeah.
maybe. Like that card is not really worth submitting at like 30,000 yen grading fees. Like depends, right? So
Yeah.
I think a
The
lot
only
of those
reason
cards. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I would say the only reason I would do because I think I have some of those cards like that where
Yeah,
I'm debating sending, and it's the only reason I would send them is just to have them available to people that like buying from me, and I probably
yeah.
wouldn't be making anything off of it really, but I'd have yeah, it would probably just be I don't know for the
Okay.
fun of it, honestly.
I think though, like as well, like if I think you can say like maybe generally speaking, if grading is more expensive, the PSA 10s will be a little bit more expensive too, just
Yeah.
because there's less of them coming back all the time.
Mhm.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to collect them, I'd wait because if it takes, PSA Japan now takes 3 months at the lowest tier for cards to come back. I'd assume there's going to be like a 3 month lag for a lot of these cards to start coming back in like large quantities, large numbers.
Yeah.
They're going to flood the market a bit later than usual, maybe. So I
Yeah,
don't
for
know.
people that are collecting, I think yeah, don't buy first to market.
I mean,
Don't buy.
obviously,
Yeah,
obviously,
and then
obviously.
like I
Yeah.
and then two PK, I think PK is the one who says this all the time, and there's probably multiple people that say this, but um just grade your own modern cards. Like
Yeah.
it's so much of a premium nowadays, like
Yeah.
on these modern cards, and it's like if you can get a good feel for it, and learn how to do it or have somebody like a friend help you out, it's just you're gonna save so much money, I feel like if
Oh,
you
yeah,
if
for
you grade
sure.
your own modern cards. Vintage is a little
100%.
different, yeah. But
Alrighty. Last topic. We went a bit over, but that's fine. I'll just
oh,
go
did
out
we?
to. It's fine. It's cool. I'll just go out and record some more from like maybe card shopping in Shinjuku. I guess people are already watching it at this point. But yeah, one last question I want to ask you. I think this is an interesting one because I haven't really heard people talk about this before. But how do you think this era, when I say this era, I mean like 2020 to 2025, how do you think this era will be remembered in the future?
I saw this when I saw this question, I was like, oh man, this is an interesting one. And I thought about it a little bit. This is like the only one I actually kind of was thinking about because I didn't know how to answer it too much. But
Mm,
I think it'll obviously depend on like it depends on how far in the future we're talking, and then like what is the state of Pokemon? Is it still around? If it is like still around, like and you know doing what it's doing, still popular and everything, then maybe I don't know, people would just um I don't know. Maybe it'll just be another boom, and it'll be like a little. It'll be a tiny boom, Like it'll be like the Pokemon Go era, where it's like that was a boom, but it wasn't like as big as the 2020 boom. Or I don't think it was. Was it? It was
no, no,
relatively
no, no.
smaller, right?
Yeah.
But it was at that time, the 2016, Pokemon Go came out, and everything went crazy, and people were like, "Whoa, this is
It
wild."
felt huge. It felt huge. It's
Yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
so I think maybe people will look at it like that. Characteristically, I don't know. I think there's a lot. one thing that is become a thing and like a part of Pokemon is the rip and ships and like rip and ships and then just businesses in general. The amount of like businesses that are built off of Pokemon cards is I think exponentially like grown like crazy. You have the investment YouTubers, people talking about the value of Pokemon cards, people that are talking about like rip and ships, people that are talking about consignment businesses. And I think that that's probably something that's unique to this 20 to 25 period more so, where it's more prominent in that era than it was in the past. So maybe maybe that's what I would say. I guess people will think about it as like the start of how a lot of people, became established in Pokemon in this time period.
Yeah, well, that's
What about
interesting.
you?
Yeah, yeah, I like that you
I don't know if
say.
I don't know if I took it a different
No, no, no.
a
That
way
I
or
no, I love that answer, and I like how you say the start because we all hope, obviously, that Pokemon continues to do well long term, right? So hopefully, it's just
yeah,
it's not ending anytime soon.
right.
But no, I think yeah, I thought about it from like a kind of an individual, but then also from a more like a broader hobby community level.
Okay.
Like I think from an individual level, I think a lot of people will have a lot of really good memories, like lots of good times, whether it's like meeting people online and this like me talking to
Hmm.
you right now. Like I think that's awesome. It's so cool
Yeah,
that this is
that
happening,
is.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
But then like the bigger picture, I sort of remove myself a little bit. I'm slightly concerned that we might look at 2020 to 2025 as a bit of a dark a dark era, the dark ages. I don't know because it's when you go back and you talked about Pokemon Go earlier, 2016. Like
Yeah.
I was in Kobe. I had just moved to Japan. I was in Kobe at the time, and like everyone was going crazy over Pokemon Go, obviously. But like I don't remember like there sort of being any sort of big time negativity or scandals. It was just like maybe I was in a bit of a bubble. I don't know. But it was just overall a bit of like everyone was just having a blast. And then obviously
Yeah.
before that as well, anything, let's call it anything pre 2020 essentially. It's just like fundamentally different to how things are today. And a lot of what is happening today, a lot of it I think is very positive for sure. But when people talk about the pandemic, they always bring up Logan Paul in the same sentence. Right?
Yeah.
And like to me, like that's something that's negative about the hobby, right?
Yeah.
That's still the guy that filmed the dead person in Japanese forest and
Oh
then
yeah, huh. Yeah.
uploaded it to YouTube for cloud. Like I think, and that's like that
Yeah.
part of that time of Pokemon being associated with that person to me is like a negative.
Hmm.
And now we're getting these like big, we get the whatnot scams and the reseals and then the alpha, beta, delta prototype fakes and like
Yeah.
there's all
Every
this
week.
crap happening now that's like just like straight up negative. I'm a little bit
Yeah.
concerned that like 10, 15, maybe 20 years from now, we'll look back and be like, oh, I can't believe like that was like there was some
Yeah.
cool stuff happening, but man, overall that was like not that much. That was it kind of sucked. I don't know.
Yeah,
How do you feel about that?
I could totally see that. Yeah, there is a lot of it's like every week there's something some drama or some scam or
Always.
something big going on. I mean, people have channels built off of it now, like
Yeah.
Opossum Bud or
Yeah.
you guys people at like Costco like fighting over I don't know, 151 boxes, throwing elbows. Uh
First thing when I opened Instagram, just before we started this recording, Instagram, first thing I see is a Costco people, scalping over the boxes, people tripping over each other. Like, it's just wild, It's like, yeah,
yeah.
we could laugh about it all, but it's just like, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. You know,
I
I
will
don't want to like
say
end this video on like kind of a negative tone
no.
because like overall I'm very optimistic about everything. I'm very happy with where the hobby is, and I think you mentioned in one of your videos. I love that you said that like Pokemon, especially in Japan, is just part of the culture here now. It's
Yeah.
here to stay, and like I think that's fantastic. But this era specifically, it's there's some stuff that I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know you're trying to get off the negative because you didn't want to end negatively, but you
No,
made
no,
me
it's
think
fine.
of
It's
something.
cool.
You made me
Yeah.
because I do have like a dual way of thinking, I feel like, where I'll think about like the good if like all of this, like when I think about the market or think about the future of Pokemon. So like thinking of this era, I kind of gave my answer for if Pokemon continues to do well and become more popular over time. what I think like people will think of like, oh, people, got very established in Pokemon and started businesses and they're, did really well.
Mm,
But also, I've also thought of like with the amount of Pokemon cards, and I know people like Jake from Pokenomics back in the day talked about the junk wax era in baseball or sports cards and how that
right.
could be something we see in Pokemon one day. And I feel like there's so much value in these modern cards, and I kind of think they're overvalued. I know I sell them for the market value, but I feel like they're just overvalued, and there's so much of them, and I don't think people realize maybe or will maybe realize later. I could be totally wrong about this, but I feel like we may see in the future like, oh wow, there is way too many of this and it's so easy to get it. And it's maybe we're in like in the junk wax
Yeah.
era and we don't know it yet, and it's just card like we said, 151 singles are everywhere. You can find them anywhere.
Yeah.
Um, so
No,
that would be
that's
like the alternate side, I guess, of my maybe people will it'll be that era. Who knows?
yeah. No, it's I mean I agree with you. That's I always think about that. When I have my early morning shower thoughts, I think about like these crazy PSA 10 populations and people always say, well, it's just demand. Demand matters the most, and
Yeah.
it's all about demand. And like, oh yeah, but demand can change. We saw with Japanese in 2023 how quickly demand can change and what that
Yeah.
did to people's collection values was kind of wild. Um, but yeah, it's just one of those things, like when you see shout out to Bonnie Tastic. I don't know if you know him. Um,
Yeah, I don't know where he's from. He's a European or something though, or
I think he's in the UK.
UK. Yeah, he's a younger
Yeah.
guy, right?
But he's like the craziest like Japanese seal collection I've ever seen. Like he's got like all the X and Y, black and white boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like really cool stuff. Like cool guy. But you look at his boxes and you're like, damn, that's freaking cool. Like
Yeah.
that's interesting. Right? You see that box, like, well, that's a really cool box. Like,
Yeah.
and it's possible. I feel like the way I'm thinking about it, like sort of this dark era that could be viewed as a dark era. Maybe 20 years from now, people will look at like, oh, you've got that Scarlet Violet box. Ugh,
You were
really?
there? You were
Really?
there?
You've got that? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know it sounds crazy. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think it's a possibility. It's like, you were talking about the junk wax stuff, right? It's like, oh,
Yeah.
you got that box?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah,
Who
who
knows?
knows? Definitely.
But
It's we'll see, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. But again, overall, I'm pretty optimistic. Like I said before, Pokemon, at least in Japan. You brought it up in a very interesting kind of way because you were talking about like the
Mm.
Japanese market or like the Japanese market potentially being more stable or like
Yeah.
secure than like the English market just because of how, or maybe you can explain. I don't know.
Yeah, I had like in my video they did a couple weeks ago or a month ago where like Japanese cards being more investable or safer investments than English cards, and it was just pretty much an argument. My last point was be like the fact that uh Japan, I mean Pokemon originated in Japan and it's so ingrained in the culture and everyday life. Like it's in like the street, the manhole covers or like they have individualized like one of one manhole covers that are different Pokemon all over Japan. I don't know how many there are, but there's like hundreds, right?
Yeah.
And then there's just like buses painted with Pokemon. There's, Pikachu on like summer safety posters for like the summer safety for like kids for like water, like you'll see them plastered up. It's everywhere. It's just
It's
like
everywhere.
yeah, it's anywhere
Yeah.
you go. There's Pokemon. And so yeah, I'm very optimistic with the Pokemon, and that's why I'm obviously I love Pokemon, and I mean you got my background here. You can see I'm like optimistic about it. I don't think anything, in the near future will happen to it. And even if it does, I'll still be here. And like a lot of what I
Yeah.
buy to grade or to flip is stuff that I would enjoy if everything went to zero or, I would still enjoy having it like myself. So, um, but yeah.
I'm on the same page. I it would definitely suck if it all went to zero. Not gonna lie, obviously, but it would still be cool. I don't know. It
Yeah.
would still be
I
some
would
cool
still
stuff
be.
for sure.
Yeah, I say
It's
I
not.
might be okay, but I might be like crying.
I mean, I don't know how I would react, obviously, but like I would like to think that I would still enjoy a lot of this stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you're so right with the Pokemon just being so ingrained in everyday life and the culture in Japan. It's like I when I was in Switzerland, like this holiday season and like last summer, I saw the same. Like you see kids walking around with Pokemon t-shirts, you see it here and there,
Yeah.
right? But Japan is just not only is it on like another level, but there's
Mm.
also like it's like I I've tried to come up with a way to like explain this, but it's got that little extra magic. That's just like
Yeah.
it's a little something about it here that's just you can't find anywhere else in the world, I think. So yeah.
Yeah, it's difficult to explain, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, I think that's gonna be it. We're just like just over an hour, I think, or about an hour. So I think that's long enough for
Yeah.
video on my channel. But yeah, good talking to you, man. It was really cool. I hope people enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Bit of
that was fun.
a different style of video, like kind of a walk and talk, but pre-recorded. People enjoyed. I would like to do more of those in the future, these in the future, maybe with you again, Josh, or maybe some other guests as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be
Had a
down. I
good
had
time.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was cool to be on the channel. I love your content and you know, you being in Japan and stuff. It's like there's not too many YouTubers I know of that are like English speaking YouTubers in Japan that like are in the same space. So it's cool seeing you do your thing. And I was excited, like I said in the beginning, I was excited that you invited me on and stuff. So I'd definitely
Oh,
be down
thanks,
to do it
man.
again. Hopefully I wasn't too boring. I don't know.
No,
Hopefully
no,
people
oh, of course not. Absolutely
But
not.
yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed myself. I appreciate you having me on.
Yo, thanks, man. I appreciate you coming on. It's really cool. Yeah, it's awesome to connect with other people. It's like I've been so before we finish the video real quick, I got back in the hobby in like 2021,
Uh-huh.
sometime second half-ish. And pretty quickly after that, I started joining the Discords like Pokenomics, etc. And
Yeah.
I've been interacting with people here and there, like just typing messages and stuff, and a couple times maybe in chatting or like on voice like a little bit. But like this is the first time I'm actually doing something like collaboratively on YouTube with someone. So I think it's pretty cool. And yeah, thanks so much for coming. I appreciate it. Like I didn't know, like, yeah, what if I ask him? It's like, no, I don't know. I don't know. No,
No,
it's awesome. Yeah.
that's funny.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Thanks so much. So where can people find you?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube, Shug Nasty. Shug is Shugg and then space Nasty Nastee. And then same for Instagram. Those are kind of the two social media platforms I use. Mostly on YouTube, posting you know, every couple weeks, every week if I can. But yeah, that's where I'm at. And then in the Discords, same Discords that you're in, Professor Oak's Discord. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, everything is linked down below, of course. So make sure to check him out. Thanks so much for coming on. Chuck, I appreciate it. Don't forget to leave a like if anyone is still watching at this point. and, and
Like
subscribe.
and
Yeah, thanks.
subscribe.
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Bye bye.